So we're at the gates of Dean Cemetery, which is at the top of a steep hill called Dean Path. Used to be a house, a Dean house, built on these grounds, but that was a long time ago, and at some point it was demolished. There was a lot of overcrowding in the church cemeteries, and this was built for that reason. So I'm looking for some stones that are set high on the wall, which apparently come from the original Dean house. Could that be them there? So here we go, this is what I'm talking about, directly above this gravestone here. Those are stones from the original Dean house. So this guy here is David Octavius Hill. As well as being a painter, he was a pioneer photographer, right in the very earliest days of photography, and he used to photograph all types of people in Edinburgh from Calton Hill, because there was a lot of light up there. He used the sunlight. Okay, now I'm walking up the main centre path. I'm looking for John Bellany's gravestone. So John Bellany died fairly recently, 2013. He was one of the great modern Scottish painters. You see a lot of his work in the nearby Modern Art Gallery, and he lived in a village called Port Seaton, which is not too far up the coast from Edinburgh. So we're now walking west along one of the side paths. We're looking for a tall obelisk. There's quite a lot of obelisks around, but this is definitely the tallest one I'm coming up to here. So this is actually a monument to the 79th Highlanders, who fought in various parts of the British Empire, including the Crimean War, I believe. And if we have a look a bit closely, you'll see the names of some of them there. So as you can see, it really is a beautiful graveyard. Definitely worth a visit, even if you don't know anything about any of the people buried here. Here's someone with the same surname as me, William MacLeod. Died only a bit older than me, aged 56 years, and I guess he was a doctor. So this pink granite cross is the gravestone of Robert Chambers, who was a founding member of the publisher Chambers, which is started off making encyclopedias but became more famous for dictionaries, still published today. This is John Wilson, who in his time was a very famous Scottish singer, who performed a lot in London, places like Drury Lane, and also sang to Queen Victoria. You can see John Wilson, the Scottish vocalist. So we're now walking further west in the cemetery, and we're looking for a very large, impressive mausoleum, and this is it. So this impressive monument is a monument to James Buchanan, who was a famous merchant and philanthropist from Glasgow. I believe founded the Buchanan Institute, and this monument was actually designed by the same guy that did Greyfriars Bobby. Not too far from Buchanan's monument, if we just go over here. A dog on that one. Oops. Just over here is the grave to the Ritchie family, and the Ritchie brothers originally founded the Scotsman newspaper, and apart from that they also donated a lot of money to the arts and culture in Edinburgh. and helped found the National Portrait Gallery, I believe. So this stretch of path I'm walking along now is known as Lord's Row, for all the many titled people that are buried here. And what I'm looking for next is a grave with what should have some form of flags, American flags on it. So let's have a look out for that. So here we are, just coming up to the grave I'm talking about. It doesn't actually have any flags on it as it has done in the past, quite often adorned with a couple of Confederate flags, because this is a grave to Colonel Robert A. Smith, who was an immigrant from Scotland, but then fought as a Confederate soldier and also as a bodyguard. He was a bodyguard to Jefferson Davis, who later went on to become president of the Confederacy and was also something of a white supremacist. And just along here we find the grave to Henry Coburn, who was another extremely influential person in Edinburgh, a lawyer, judge and literary figure, and he also co-founded the Edinburgh Academy School. And just next to Henry Coburn is the grave of William Henry Playfair, who was one of the greatest architects in Edinburgh. He designed some of Edinburgh's greatest buildings, including the Old College, the Royal Scottish Academy and the Scottish National Gallery, and also the unfinished monument known as Edinburgh's Disgrace, or even Scotland's Disgrace, on Calton Hill. And right next to Playfair's grave is a grave that Playfair actually designed himself. You can't miss this one. It's a huge pink pyramid, and this commemorates the lawyer Lord Rutherford and his wife Francesca. And obviously they were very interested in Egypt. Some more incredible graves around here. I'd like to tell you more about them, but I'm limited in time and also knowledge. But we'll have a quick look at this one. And if you have a closer look. So this is a monument to Lieutenant John Irving, who was on the ill-fated expedition, Franklin's expedition, to find the Northwest Passage, and pretty much everyone on that expedition died, including Lieutenant John Irving. So if we pass through these two trees here, we'll actually find a whole other part of the cemetery, which I don't think I've even been to before. So that's really pretty much the end of the video. I had shot some more footage, but for some reason when I got home the files weren't there. I don't know why. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this short tour of Dean Cemetery, and like and subscribe if you want to see some more tours of Edinburgh like this.